Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion, plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We got a little bit of a streak going on here. Yet, the only streak that matters is the streak of me not unlocking the dang Lost. Oh my god. So much better starting stats than usual. Or lately, at least. 8G, QA, VKBC, good speed, rate of fire is bad, just calling it like I see it, but damage is good. The finger is a, it's okay. It's really good at breaking poops, as I've just noticed now. Figured we might as well try it. This is so much better than our last run, though, where we were just saddled with, if I'm being honest, just inadequate damage. Like my reality versus the hopes of my parents when I was born. Just inadequate. I don't know if I want Lazarus's rags. You might be saying, well, what's the negative? And I kind of find myself thinking the same thing. What's the negative? But at the same time, I'm like, well, if we want to get missing poster and then die and then respawn, would we have to die twice on the... Would that throw a monkey wrench into the... I guess the other thing is, like, do we really have a benefit if we pick up Lazarus rags? The benefit, I guess, is that we do get a failsafe. If we're gonna die, we're not gonna die as a result of that instead. It's actually fairly plausible. This is gonna hurt. Yep. Fairly plausible. We might wish to die to take a deal with the devil and then respawn as Lazarus with the modest benefits contained therein. But I'm gonna ignore worrying about that for now. We could die right here. That's huge. Oh, man. Yeah, that's, please. That rune probably just saved my life. Let's go blank rune. AWAS, with no extra blank. Berkano is just usable. Perthrow and then AWAS. I think we'll just use AWAS again. We could use it to get out of the cursed room, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. And I think we'll use Perthrow, straight away, straight away. You guys remember Enya? It's not like they're... What happened to them exactly? They're still around, I'm sure, but... You just don't hear them that much anymore. Which I guess is a good thing, because they tend to pull out the Enya around tragedies. I'm not trying to suggest they're... Oh. Sure, why not? I'm not trying to suggest that Enya profits off a tragedy. I'm just trying to suggest that when there's a tragedy, Enya's not too far behind. You know, whether intentionally or otherwise. I understand that if you're from Ireland, you're being very sacrilegious right now. Enya is my favorite band of all time and yada yada yada. Well, you know what? More power to you. You could just tell me to sail away, sail away. She's probably Irish, right? Enya strikes me as an Irish lady. Is her name Enya? I don't know. I don't know what to say. Let's keep this. I had a feeling this might be the way that this works. AWAS. It's our third AWAS on the single floor here. I can't see what it is because Krendor just signed in to play Battlegrounds. That was a Perthrow blank rune. So we're going to stick with AWAS. I wish we had more money. I could spend bombs to make it happen, but... We made our own kind of personal deal with the devil on this floor. And the deal with the devil is, we'll take marked, which is... It's not really a deal with the devil because we don't... pay later. We're paying right now and forever. We got a really nice tiers upgrade for taking marked. And I think on the outside, you know, a lot of people go, what's wrong with marked? It seems like a cool item. It's a cool idea. It tends to manifest as being not so good as we head down to the next floor. The problem is that it's annoying, but there's a lot of items that actually do take pretty good benefit of marked. Anything that's a charge shot, I think, for example, is pretty solid, but for now, we are going to be feeling a little bit under the gun. But our rate of fire is so much better than it used to be, and our DPS has come way, way up as a result. Money equals power. It's a lovely little item for us here. You know what's cool? We can aim the finger independently of marked. So, no matter where marked is shooting... I'm going to do this. You just got to make sure you're actually placing this in the right section. For 2 bombs, we should be able to get 3 cents, and then whatever's in this chest. Which is an eternal heart that you don't have to tell me twice. I definitely should not have taken right off the bat. Nice. We set up a pretty sweet gauntlet there. I'm feeling a little bit better about this now. You know, as long as we live through this floor, and ideally if we get a deal with the devil, I'm thinking we're probably in a relatively okay spot here. And then immediately, I was just gonna say I screwed it up. As soon as I walked through that room that way, I was like, I've screwed this up. But I was just gonna say, let me guess, there's a spirit heart. This is probably a secret room, so we'll just use this up here. Really good job, and dude, like, this is why I think Dad's key is like a highly underrated item, but not just for the, you know, the Zane factor, but also for our ability to not have to use keys or bombs ever. Kind of suffering right now. I don't know why the finger is not hidden. You know, I feel like that finger should be doing damage right there. Anyway, we still have a 36% chance of a deal with the devil. An outside possibility, making that dream come true. We don't need to get a deal with the devil, but some kind of DPS would be for the best, because, you know, I'm not really 100% convinced about our damage at the present moment. Second secret room. Deal with the devil. Mom's knife. Now, lest ye think that I'm just being a glory hunter, I do want to point out, we took Mom's knife in a situation where if we had ever been touched, we would die. So I'm actually just gonna... No, I'm not gonna leave yet. We're actually in a pretty good spot here. So obviously the Mom's knife pickup gives us like an extremely good chance of success. Please, Uplay, close. I don't need to... Yeah, minimize the system tray. I don't need a notification on my screen when FartKnocker81 decides that they want to send me a friend request. I don't... Feel free. I'm trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you. The way you do the things you do reminds me of my Alexis Coupe. And we're not even going to touch on the fact that R. Kelly is comparing a woman to his own car because, it's, I mean, in the whole spectrum of weird things R. Kelly's done, it seems downright quaint, doesn't it? Isn't he going to freeze himself off the planet? We don't need to use Dad's key here. I could... Okay, here's how this is going to go. We're going to come up here. We're going to grab this. Then we're going to go into our curse room. We're going to get 2 spirit hearts back. We're going to pop an AWAS. And that ended up being excellent. So yeah, we're in just an unbelievably great spot right now. Let's do our best to see if we can get the tools and the tricks of the trade necessary to have a good chance to unlock the Lost. It seems unlikely. But again, as much as I am also, like, of course I'm still kind of cruising towards 1001%, I'm also looking at these situations and I'm having a lot of fun. We're on a kind of a streak. Now, does the streak count because we're not at 1001%? Yeah, it counts. Why wouldn't it count? We're winning games. If anything, we're winning games with another asterisk on them. I don't know, is it... Oh, another secret room as well. Is it meaningfully easier with the way that we're playing the game? I don't think so. So we're looking for a mom's box of trinkets, ideally. And you know what? We do have money equals power, so something like this feels like a prudent use of our resources. It's not like we need a damage upgrade. I mean, we are rolling Mom's knife at a really, really nice rate of fire right now. Not sure how Finger's affected. I'm assuming that Finger is still not particularly strong right now, but I could be persuaded to think otherwise. I could be persuaded to fing otherwise. You know, they call them fingers, but I've never seen them fing. Oh, there they go. That's not our secret room. Where? This is not going to be here. Must be hidden somewhere throughout the bowels of the rest of the map. I don't like to use the word bowels. I feel like, and I'm risking the YouTube monetization filter. Oh, there were 2 secret rooms up here. I'm risking the YouTube monetization filter at this point, but it's worth talking about. Sometimes you just gotta take a stand. Politically, okay? In the parlance of intercourse, and I love all of A, that sentence, and B, what we've got going on in that room, but we use the grossest terminology, and by we I mean the human race. I'm not suggesting that you specifically or I specifically use these terms. The term nut is just disgusting. It's foul. It reduces the male orgasm to a food item That isn't even really, like... I don't understand, like, I get that it sort of comes from your nuts, but is that what, like, nut doesn't even come from nuts. Nut butter comes from nuts. If you're like, oh, I'm gonna make nut butter, it would still be horrifying and disgusting, but, I should have definitely black ruined glaucoma. I just wasn't even thinking. But I think I'm technically correct. If you're gonna be gross, you might as well be correct. It's just a foul language. Another one I hear, I wouldn't say frequently, but that I've heard before, up in them guts. It's a terrible mental picture. You've perforated where you're supposed to be, and now you're jamming into internal organs. This is not how it's supposed to go down. I love that. I hate that we didn't get Bookworm, but still. Up in them guts is a terrible phrase. We talked about it on the NLSS, not the, up in them guts, which... I know I want to make it more erudite. I want to say, I reside within the guts. But that's not really... You can't say that. Because it's too erudite. You got to be up in them guts. Quote unquote. Even cum doesn't make sense. I don't understand. It's something you do. It's something you make. It's something some people choose to eat. We do want Acid Baby here. Again, it's a foul episode, but I'm just saying that if we could redesign the English language, this is another... In the ongoing segment of Northern Lions, if we could redesign the English language, there's some things we would change. Some slang, I don't think is that bad. You know, the cat slang for a female piece of genitalia, I don't understand it, but I don't think it's, like, necessarily horrible. Dick, not really that bad of a phrase. It's just so, like... Nut gets me. Nut, up in them guts. Those are the two big ones, I suppose. So I also, there's gotta be, and I'm being real with you, there's gotta be a good, like, crash course episode or something about how the word cum came to refer to that. Because, like, it sounds so, like, positively medieval to use that phrase. It's like you can't say what it actually is. The word orgasm is illegal or something. Does this even work? Yeah, it does. You know, because it's seen as sinful or something like that. So instead you gotta use, like, a code word. That's what it feels like. And then we're just living, like, the antiquated world that's existed since then. I don't know. By the way, this run is still, like, mad wonky. It makes it so much worse. We maintain a kind of safe distance of being one hit away from death, essentially, now and forever. That's not the trinket we're looking for, but it is plausible we've, like, never seen it. Never picked it up, at least. Yeah, okay. I mean, we're gonna fight the angel statue regardless of the fact that we have Dad's Key, just because I'd prefer a passive way to fight the, I mean, not that I'm disliking the effect of Dad's Key right now, but I'd prefer a passive way of guaranteeing the deal with the devil. We also, if we were being, you know, a little cheekier, we could have, like, black ruined it, but I don't think it's necessary. And in case you were wondering how the run looks, like, I mean, offensively, it's offensive. It's the greatest run you could possibly ask for in your entire existence. But HP-wise, it's dicey, but it's not that bad anymore. Ever since we found that second secret room, everything's been coming up roses, I'd say. And right now, we're just doing our best job of trying to figure out what all these pills do. A lot of English is like that. I'm trying to think of some other examples, but, you know, it's a lot of pressure, like... Yeah, we'll take that for now. That probably means we're not going to take damage for quite some time. That's my guess, at least. But I just feel like sexually, which is what you're coming to this topic to converse about, of course, is what our show is known for. The expressions don't get changed enough because people don't talk about them freely. You know, it's still, I'm not going to say it's taboo, because I think you know, it's a different generation than it was 40 years ago, probably. I wouldn't know, I wasn't alive 40 years ago. In fact, 50 years ago was the 60s, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just saying people don't talk about it in open conversation all the time. I feel like, I really wish that the first time I heard someone say, up in those guts, I said, excuse me, are you trying to suggest that somehow your phallus is rearranging her internal organs. Because I guess on like a primal level that's good for you, but on like a human level, is she okay? Because it sounds like she needs to be seen by like some professional of internal medicine. It seems extremely deleterious to her overall existence. I'm not trying to use a fancy word. I'm trying to be, I might be implicated in a criminal investigation sometime soon as a result of you being up in them guts. So, is it involuntary manslaughter or womanslaughter, as it were? I don't want to be called as a witness. I got stuff to do. I'm a busy person. Well, haven't really made much improvement there, but the Halo is a nice pickup. 7 seals is completely fine. Can I just pick it up, please? Thank you. I'm drowsy is also very good. We can definitely use that against Mega Satan if we find the desire to kind of stick with it, as long as it seems like we might. For now, we'll just continue to... It doesn't matter. It really does not matter whether you keep or use that. Anyway. Keep it up. You're doing great work. Stay still. Fire tech X shots. Poke your knife into enemies. You know, it's what being young's all about. We still got... Oh, I jinxed it a little bit. I was going to say we still got our Holy Mantle Charm, but it's now gone. We have Trinket Smelter. And you know what? I will take Humbling Bundle, and I will take Trinket Smelter. And I'm sorry to do this to you, Dad's Key, because I like you. I think you got a good head on your shoulders. You know, you got a great future ahead of you in this business. At the time being, it's not the right time. You've done good work for us. We still only have 4 keys, which is kind of amazing to me that over this whole run. What we should be thinking about is how bad we might be looking if we didn't have Dad's Key and thus, like, gotten access to these rooms we otherwise wouldn't have had access to. Like the item rooms, for example. I don't think we want that trinket. I don't think Trinket Smelter gives us any better of a chance of getting the Lost, but it does mean if we get the Lost, or if we get Missing Poster, we're not going to accidentally drop it before we find a self-sacrifice room. Amnesia. Speed down. We don't have the greatest assortment of pills. A range up is worth almost nothing on this run. Any X-ray goggles are fine, especially now that we've lost Dad's Key. I haven't seen, like, Hematemesis is actually pretty good as well, but haven't seen, like, a Balls of Steel pill. Just watch out, it's gonna explode. We got the explodey fly. Alright. 2 Hematemesis. If we had Dark Bum, Hematemesis would be a little bit better, but as is right now, it's just sort of sitting there existing, watching the tide roll away. And we're done with this floor. Still got money equals power. I don't need to use a bomb to get that. You know, we're not a slave to damage like we often find ourselves being on these runs. We're relatively set, so... I'm drowsy. I'm drowsy. We'll take that. We'll take the Batwing, and we'll... I didn't suck it up because I forgot that that's how that works. We'll leave here. This is like an ideal run to do Boss Rush on. What would I like to see on Boss Rush? What about Mom's Box of Trinkets? I thought that that might be an interesting item if it showed up. Why? Oh, no reason. Just we've been looking for it forever to fulfill our existence and please the fans. So I am gonna be a little... aggressive relative to what you might like to see here, because I do want to make Boss Rush, and I'm relatively unconcerned about throwing a little HP at this problem to make it go away. Oh, so I'm a problem now, am? Okay, there we go. What a strange sound. Gimpy, lovely pickup. Our luck stat is such that we would expect that it'll pay for itself pretty soon. It almost always pays for itself, unless you die, like, immediately after it, but... don't see the item I'm looking for, but I do see Champion Belt. You know what else we can do? And I know we have money equals power, but we could try to donate, and that's about as well as I expected that to go. Now that we have Humbling Bundle, I'm thinking we got a better bead on money equals power regardless. I wonder if I'm drowsy. What a waste. In my head, I was like, you got a holy mantle. You don't need to avoid the spikes. And I realized I just threw away the whole floor's holy mantle. Oh, well. Wonder if I'm drowsy would work on boss rush, or if we would just be throwing away all but the first wave. We might as well take it. We'll get 2 pennies every now and then. With money equals power, essentially this is a really, really slow drip, like, damage upgrade. Little Horn is completely fine. I don't know if it really gives us too much hurt and power on a run in which we're not shooting any physical tiers. We did have flying in that room. We got a nice little run here. I mean, it's not like a... We don't have to be that quaint about it, I suppose. It's more than a little run. When I hear that old song they used to say, that's not how that song goes. You know how when you say songs, when I hear that old song I used to say, then I begin dreaming. When I see it, missing poster. You know. Okay. Well, it looks like another run in all likelihood with no loss, and you're gonna be saying, how on earth could we have predicted that? Why don't you just unlock him the other way? And I'm saying, I know, but I got like a real gambler's fallacy going on right now, which is that, like, you know, the idea that the successful one is just around the corner. So I'm drowsy totally works. Music is all jacked up. Oh. I don't even want to talk about it, but the slang terms for masturbation, also terrible. I don't know why we can't just say masturbation. Instead, it's always got to be a euphemism. Again, I don't even understand, like, you know, as soon as you hear an idiom like, you know, chip off the old block, and you can come up with, like, a plausible reason in your head as to why that makes sense. Well, they used to use, you know, guide stones as masons to, you know, make bricks, and then they say a chip off the old block. It means it's essentially like, I'll tough it out. I think we should. It's essentially like the guide stone is just as good as the one that it created, so it's like they're the clones of each other. You know, you can come up with, like, a plausible explanation. I don't understand getting off. Something you do on a train, or like, I mean, you can fall off of a wagon, I suppose. You might be saying you're thinking too hard about it, but like, that's essentially my job. So I actually am gonna probably teleport out of here. Like, and I think not only, like, should I have teleported out of there, I probably should have teleported out of there faster. We could die. We're only 1 hit away from death. I've been a little scatterbrained on this. Oh, let's go. Been a little scatterbrained on this episode. I'll give it to you there, but, like, there's no reason. We especially, like, just should never be hit because of the Holy Mantle situation we got going on. That's why you don't just throw Holy Mantle away for effectively no actual literal reason. I just realized we're also definitely not going to fight Mega Satan. Even though we took a key piece, we did also take deals with the devil. And that means we're not... Well, we need to find, like, another way into an angel room somehow. I wonder if we can just keep, like, walking back and forth here. Maybe get the Batwing and fly over there. I don't know, man. I'm so distracted, etymologically speaking, right now. And I ain't talking about soybeans. Steamed, salted, and served at a Japanese restaurant as probably the most popular appetizer in American sushi restaurants. No, you know, gyoza probably still #1. I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm a broccoli, not broccoli, I'm a Brussels sprouts boy. I know it's not a common appetizer necessarily, but If I ever see, like, crispy Brussels sprouts on a menu, you could charge me upwards of $6 to $7 for an appetizer-sized portion of those. I will consume them. I will be happy to do so. Regardless of the amount of salt and oil involved in their production, I will convince myself that it's at least 5 servings of vegetables, and I'm living a healthy existence. So thank you for that. You're enabling my willful ignorance. Well, we gotta fight some special boss here. Absolutely, we're gonna take that. And there's another good play. Let's get back to vintage Isaac form, okay? So I think a Thame with a luck stat like this is worth rolling. This is not, obviously. But by taking this, and, you know, we can still hold on to that for now. By taking this, we can go back and get that HP upgrade that's back here regardless, and then move down to the next floor. We know this. Bad trip. Full health. 6 of one, half a dozen of the freaking other, man. Sorry, Ruka. Didn't mean to wake you up there. And sorry to you sleeping at home as well. I mean, I'm apologizing. At the same time, I'm not using... I mean, I don't start these episodes and go, I can't wait to put people to sleep today. I don't necessarily expect you to be watching with bated breath at all times, but... You know, I don't make these episodes as a sleep aid. If you like to use them as a sleep aid, I'm very, you know, flattered. I'm not saying, wake up, jerk. I'm talking about important stuff, you know? I understand the call to the void, as it were. Call of the void, I should say. However, I'm not going to restrict myself from the occasional shout, shout, let it all out as a result. Hierophant, I love it. Thank you. Curse of the Unknown, I'm a little perturbed. I'm going to choose to go in here. It's going to cost us 1, but we got 1 back anyway. It also cost us our Holy Mantle, but at least we got something effective out of it. Namely, like, something constructive, I should say. Yeah, you can't just walk on the creep. Rarely do I have the ability to fly. It's the game tricking me. 2 of Hearts. Only the worst card of the 2 of cards until you absolutely need it to survive, in which case it could be very useful. Poker Chip I don't think is good. I think Poker Chip is probably... Bad isn't the right word. The word that I would use is situational. Pretty much irrelevant, but I would use the word situational. If you really need any HP, you'd rather not have Poker Chip. You'd rather have no Poker Chip so you have just a chance to get something out of your chest. If you're looking for, like, big swings, like if you can afford to wait for big swings, I guess it could be useful, but I think for the most part it's just not that good. I am going to head down here, and my reasoning is essentially I want to put myself on the hot seat. We're not very strong here, but I want to make myself almost be forced to play better, because I think I've gotten a little out of focus here, and I want to pull it back together. Let's see if we can get a rune, maybe, of some sort. I don't know how we would do that. Box of Friends, blue map. We might as well Box of Friends. And the world card's better, but we might as well Box of Friends. Eden's Blessing is so good for the next run, especially, but might as well Box of Friends for the fight. And then, oh my god, Magic Mushroom. This is just like an incredible setup. IV Bag, not as good. We don't need that yet, but to get Magic Mush there is exceptional. So we do get 2 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And our damage is greatly improved as a result of all this. We might as well use Feels Like I'm Walking on Sunshine, because we're definitely taking the world card once we get out of here. Ended up being, like, probably the luckiest Curse of the Blind pickups you could get. Unless there were even better items in there, I'm gonna leave it to use. I don't even say use, like, in my home life. I don't know how it slipped out. I have been listening to a lot of the Joe Pesci rap album. I think that might have something to do with it. Should make an effort to stand close. If we stand close, we could probably sneak in the knife damage in addition to the tech damage. Highly safe. Forgot we had sad bombs. Not the best with Mom's knife, but I thought I saw a second explosion in there too. Did the horsemen, whatever. The horsemen explosions also have bombs? I mean, they have bombs, but do they have sad bombs? Do they inherit my sad bomb ability? Come on, you're dead. I don't want to have to go through this again. I mean, we might get hit once more. It's not that big of a deal, but would you rather get hit once or 0 times? I'm kind of in the 0 camp, personally. That was pretty good. I think we made the right decision, not only to, like, come down here for rebalancing purposes, but also the run is just, like, a lot stronger now, so. Alrighty. Well, yes, that is where we want to go. We'll go Cathedral Chest, and if they give us Delirium at the end, we'll probably do Delirium as well. It's just a nice, like a pleasant run to inhabit right now. It's a pretty much straight shot to our boss fight. It takes as long as it takes. In the meantime, please tweet me your euphemisms. Oh, we got rid of Trinket Smelter. Not that it matters, because we still only have 0 trinkets, but not what I wish to go with. In fact, when we went back into the shop, I saw the question mark, and I was like, did we want that? And I just decided no, which was a foolish decision, but tweet me your euphemisms. Not because I'm a weird guy, but because I like to dissect them. Yeah, that's, let me know when that line works for you. Talk dirty to me. I just want to dissect your euphemisms. Hey, I don't know why. Whenever I say something like that, I say it in this voice like John Travolta for some reason. I don't know why. Hey. No, it's Arthur Fonzarelli. Why not? Well, you should take that. And, I mean, not necessarily that. You know, 48-hour energy actually has a place on this run right now. Now that we have Box of Friends. I'm just trying to find the silver lining of this dark cloud, but we can kind of go crazy on a boss, and I think it should just be Isaac because we can. And who knows if we'll get a better card later, but just go crazy on Box of Friends there. Excuse me, sir. They yet live? How so, though? There we go. I don't think it's going to be an enormous benefit because we're essentially like only doubling, and by doubling I mean adding even anything to the Horseman. Oh, that's not true. We're getting a second King Baby, a second Acid Baby, and a second Little Steven. All of which amount to essentially 0% value, but, you know, I'm not upset by it. It is, I was factually incorrect earlier. Quite well. As we head down to the next floor. Looking very solid so far, very strong. Extremely unlikely to slip up. Curse of the Unknown, not my favorite, but pretty good items. Dogtooth, a little extra damage. Scatter bombs with sad bombs, quite nice. Experimental treatment seems to have been positive. Amnesia, health down, hematemesis. I'm drowsy. So I'm drowsy is still good. We'll probably just open every room with like a little scatter bombs action now. There goes Holy Mantle. That was about to hit me. We got the bombs for certain, and that was terrible. We got the power as well. So we're gonna be up to 7, and that's, I mean, at this point we should be treating wins as routine, especially when you get Mom's Knife on like the 3rd floor, but you never know. I think I'm more paranoid about wins right now because, you know, semi-recently I went through that streak of being like really bad. Opposite of a streak, more like a slump, really. So to be back somewhat on the horse, not unlocking the lost, but getting a little bit of Isaac confidence, even if it is a little artificial. I mean, Mom's Knife is like, you know, it's like having plastic surgery. You didn't earn that nose, but if it makes you feel better, hey, you treat yourself or something. I don't know. I don't really have a strong opinion on it, and I realized that halfway through the metaphor. Kind of find myself, I wouldn't say backpedaling, but trying to figure out where I stand. I'm just saying it's a little hypocritical. I always thought of myself as like mildly anti-cosmetic surgery. You know, surgery exclusively to take a person that looks average and make them look amazing. But then I'm like, gene mods? Hell yeah, dude. Sign me up. I want to be 8 feet tall. So again, I'm finding it hard to reconcile that, like, no sir, I would never let a doctor take a knife to me to give me a hair transplant. I'm gonna shake what God gave me. By the way, Mr. Scientist Man, if you could please put the hair gene into my genetic code. It's not... Other bald people will be able to relate to this. Corey's a little bit different. I think Corey, like, twitch.tv/flackblag. I think he would definitely prefer to have hair. It's not that I prefer being bald, but I'm not unhappy being bald. People, when you're bald, they always ask you these questions. Well, if you could grow back your hair, would you? Yeah, because I could then shave if I didn't like it, you know? It's not like... You're presenting me with, if you could have a choice, would you? Honestly, I think if my hair, well, I don't know, I'm lazy. The thing is, baldness is like... It's like a weird form of laziness. You spend way less time on your hair on a daily basis, except, you know, once every week or so you shave your head, but you never have to get a haircut. So who's winning out in the end? I think the bald dudes are winning out in the end in terms of, like, time spent, so maybe I would remain bald. I think I got a decent head for baldness. I kind of lucked out in that department. But yeah, I'm just if you see a bald person, it's like seeing a tall person. There's just a few questions you don't need to ask, because they've already answered them. When did you go bald? I'm happy to tell you the timeline. It's just not that, you know, relevant. Why did you shave your head? People also go, like, sometimes they'll be coy about it. So do you shave your head for, like, for fashion, or is there, like, yeah, I'm bald. I got the gene, okay? the cluster of genes. You don't need to be coy about it. It is what I know. I'm bald. I'm not self-conscious about it. It is unusual, I guess, and I've been down this line of reasoning in videos before, but probably one of the few 29-year-olds who's got a decade of baldness under their belt. Not the only. Certainly not the only. I mean, because also alopecia exists, and other people could just go bald as well, but... You know, it's... I guess maybe I've had more time to get used to it. And this, you know, the heyday of my teens and 20s, maybe this is where it's easier for me. I never had, like, you know, 10 sweet years, and then I started losing my hair, and I'm like, oh no, these years are gonna, no one's gonna like me, I'm not gonna be able to party anymore that I don't have my hair. I never had my hair as an adult, essentially, so I'm free from that limiting belief. Anyway, yes, if I could regrow my hair, I would choose to regrow it, because mostly I would have the choice to grow hair or shave it off instead of what we're doing right now, which is essentially the same thing. Like, I do have the choice to grow it or shave it off. It just grows in looking, like, bad. Like Andre Agassi. Anyway, dude, this is like the fastest Delirium kill ever. Ended up being a fun run. Plus, Brock Besser just scored on Monitor 1. So, hey, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.